Kamaru Usman's late inclusion to fight Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 294 has been greeted with plenty of fanfare. Surprisingly, Kamaru Usman and Khamzat Chimaev kept it civil while they were interviewed at the same time ahead of their UFC 294 clash. Both Usman and Chimaev were interviewed by Chael Sonnen on the ESPN MMA YouTube channel. Chael Sonnen started with Usman and asked him, "This was your idea over 2 months ago. The UFC decided to give the nod to Costa, revealed that he had surgery on his elbow 3 weeks ago and was pulled from the card. The UFC called you and said, 'Kamaru, we like that idea after all. What is it specifically about this opponent that made you want to campaign and lobby for this fight?' Usman responded and said, 'I think he's a great opponent. He's as advertised. I think he's tough, he's big, he's strong, he can grapple, he can wrestle, he can strike. And at this point, this season in my life, it's just a matter of taking on the biggest, baddest challenges. And so when I walk away from the sport, I know that I took down who's who of the sports.'" Then Chael Sonnen asked the same question to Khamzat. "This is not the opponent that you planned for as soon as this fight was announced? Dana White announced that this would be a #1 contenders match. Was that something that you demanded to accept the last-minute replacement?" Khamzat replied, "And Saeed, I was playing anything else. Life has never let me play anything, so I was ready for everybody. I don't train for somebody else. I for what I'm going to do for my things." Then Chael Sonnen asked him, "If you get a win over Kamaru Usman, that will draw you into Sean Strickland, who's a former training partner. Is that going to be a problem?" Khamzat responded to that.
"Oh, no problem. Somebody wants to make money. No problems there, man."
When Chael Sonnen asked to Usman,
"Many people may not know, but you and Sean Strickland have competed before. It will actually be a rematch. You defeated him the first time. He was younger in his career, and it was at 170 pounds. Do you also look forward to rematching the current champion, Sean Strickland?"
Usman responded to him, "I think since that fight he's grown a lot. He's gotten a lot better, and I think he's just settled into who he is as a fighter. And I look forward to that matchup because as he's grown as of him, I've grown a lot as well, so I think that's going to be a highly anticipated matchup for everyone to see, and I can't wait." When Chael Sonnen asked him, "Are you ready to fight Khamzat on such short notice?" Usman said,
"Absolutely. I think this one thing that, since the beginning of my career, it's the one thing that I've always done. And I think it's the one thing that any great fighter or great champion does. And that's, you're always prepared. This is not something that we do on the weekends. We're always in shape. We're always in the gym. We always continue to learn and grow and build. But it makes no difference. At the end of the day, just like the saying goes, fighters fight. As I'm sure he's excited for the matchup, so am I."
While Khamzat Chimaev is often confident about his ability to defeat any opponent who stands in front of him, he exhibited a different attitude and refused to give an official prediction for his bout with Usman when asked. He said, "Never gonna give you, can't give a prediction before the fight. Everybody say gonna do that, gonna this, that. In the cage, everything is going different way now, so that's why never can give. Like for the Gilbert Burns, like learn lot of things. You was thinking, one punch gonna go down in my head, so you know the gameplay against you." Chael Sonnen asked final question to Usman. "Kamaru, let me ask you very directly. Are you going to beat Khamzat Chimaev? Are you going to become the #1 contender this Saturday at UFC 294? Usman replied it with laugh and said,
Good question, Chair. I like the way you worded that. I think that's what we do. Just like he's planning to step in there and get his hands raised, so am I. He's prepared, and so am I. So on Saturday night, we're both gonna step in there, they're gonna close that door, and whoever's game plan starts to unravel, the other opponent's gonna have their hand raised. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure he's looking forward to it. And on Saturday night, the fans and the world finally get the matchup that they want to see.
Kamaru Usman will make his middleweight debut this weekend when he faces Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 294. Gilbert Burns, who has shared the octagon with both fighters, believes the Nigerian Nightmare presents a tougher challenge for Boers than Paulo Costa, his previous opponent, despite taking the bout on 10 days' notice. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Durinho said Khamzat had a bigger reach than Paulo Costa. Now Kamaru has the bigger reach on this fight, plus the experience and everything. It's going to be very important to Kamaru to get there as early early as possible to acclimate. I mean, he fought there with Jorge Masvidal on short notice, but now he's in a different division, so it kind of tricks me a little bit because for sure you need to get there early, but the weight cut is not an issue. He added, for Khamzat, he's there already. I'm sure he's got a couple big guys getting him ready for Paulo Costa. Boxers with a good takedown defense. Now it changes everything. Now the guy has a bigger reach. Now the guy has more experience. Now we gotta figure out a wrestler. Such a small amount of time to adapt your game. Oh, it changed so much. You guys have no idea. On a short notice fight, a lot of things change super quick. Khamzat Chimaev looks fast and explosive ahead of fight. Double. Khamzat Chimaev is known for trash-talking his opponents leading up to fights. Despite this tendency, Boers had nothing but respect for the Nigerian Nightmare during a recent sit-down interview with Kamaru Usman and Chael Sonnen, stating, "Respect for the guy taking the fight on short notice. Everything. They already have excuses. Not Usman. Usman takes the fight like warrior, man. But people already says he didn't have a camp. This, that, man. This short notice booking might not be an ideal scenario for either man to join the UFC's middleweight division, but the fight will carry some massive implications, considering Dana White has already stated the winner will challenge Sean Strickland for the promotion's middleweight title." If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.